On what started as an ordinary spring morning in the heart of the Ozarks, the city of Springfield, Missouri, found itself under siege from one of the most ferocious hailstorms in recent memory. Tuesday, April 28, 2026, began with partly sunny skies and the promise of a pleasant day. By midday, however, nature unleashed a barrage of ice that would leave thousands scrambling for safety, shatter windshields across entire parking lots, plunge neighborhoods into darkness, and claim the life of a gentle zoo resident. The transformation was breathtakingly rapid. Residents later described how the sky shifted from bright and clear to an ominous, pitch-black canvas in roughly 15 minutes. One woman staying at a campground on the northwest side of the city recalled the eerie speed of the change. It went from completely sunny to pitch black almost instantly. Then came the hail, first as a warning patter, then as a relentless assault. The first round of severe storms rolled into Springfield around 11 a.m. Softball-sized and baseball-sized hailstones measuring up to 2 3/4 inches in diameter, with some reports of stones approaching or exceeding 4 inches near the National Weather Service office by the airport, hammered the region with terrifying force. Witnesses compared the sound and impact to a sustained physical beating on the entire city. The stones bounced violently off rooftops, smashed through windows, dented metal, and shattered glass with explosive cracks that echoed across neighborhoods.
Springfield city utilities reported more than 10,000 power outages within hours of the first storm's arrival. By midday, over 10,100 customers were without electricity, with the vast majority of disruptions concentrated on the northern side of the city near the I-44 corridor. Utility crews worked tirelessly through the afternoon, and power was restored to most customers by around 4 p.m. Even so, broader infrastructure concerns lingered. In a rare and concerning development, city officials began receiving reports of hail damage to gas meters, a situation that veteran workers said they had never encountered before. The field services manager for gas and water metering issued an urgent public advisory. Residents should carefully inspect their meters, and if they detected any smell of gas, leave the area immediately and call 911 rather than attempting repairs themselves. The warning underscored how unusually powerful and widespread the hail impacts had been.
Perhaps the most visually staggering scenes unfolded at Springfield Branson National Airport, SGF. Approximately 1,500 vehicles sat in the airport's expansive parking lots when the first wave of hail struck around 11:30 a.m. Airport officials estimated that 95% of those vehicles sustained some form of damage, with roughly a quarter suffering severe impacts, including completely shattered windshields, broken rear windows, and destroyed sunroofs. The hail core passed directly over the airport's more than 3,300 acres, leaving rows upon rows of cars dented, cracked, and covered in shattered glass. Airport spokesperson Ren Lubering, also referred to in some accounts as Ren Bishop Lubbering, confirmed the scale of the destruction and advised all travelers whose vehicles were parked in the lots to contact their insurance providers promptly. Nearby, the Courtyard by Marriott Hotel on Division Street, close to the I-44 interchange, also reported significant damage to vehicles in its parking area. For many travelers, the storm turned what should have been a routine layover or departure into a costly ordeal. Rental cars, personal vehicles, and long-term parkers alike were left battered under the open sky with nowhere to hide.
One of the most dramatic human stories emerged from the Walmart Supercenter on North Kansas Expressway in northwest Springfield. The hail was so intense that it punched straight through the skylights in the store's roof, sending large, dangerous chunks of ice crashing down onto shoppers and employees inside. Panic ensued as ice rained down from above. The store was immediately evacuated and remained closed for the remainder of the day. A nearby Starbucks also shut its doors amid the chaos. Storm management teams later noted that the level of hail damage they witnessed inside the big box retailer was unlike anything they had seen before, even compared to a small tornado that had struck the same general area 2 years earlier. Shoppers described heart-pounding moments of scrambling for cover as skylights shattered overhead. Videos shared by witnesses showed the interior briefly plunging into darkness as the storm raged, with the unmistakable sound of heavy ice smashing through the ceiling. One delivery driver who had run inside for shelter later found his own car in the parking lot heavily damaged, joining hundreds of others whose vehicles now bore the scars of the storm.
Here we go. See if we can get home.
The storm's impact extended beyond human property and infrastructure, touching the lives of animals at Dickerson Park Zoo on the north side of Springfield. The zoo sat directly in the path of the most violent portion of the hail core. When the hail began pounding down around 11 a.m., it damaged roofs, shattered skylights on multiple structures, and left the grounds blanketed in layers of ice. Tragically, a 21-year-old emu named Adam did not survive the onslaught. A male rhea, a large flightless bird resembling a smaller ostrich, was also injured and placed under veterinary care. Zoo spokeswoman Joey Powell confirmed that no other animals were injured and that all staff members and guests present during the storm remained safe. The zoo announced it would remain closed through Wednesday, April 29th, as crews assessed structural damage and worked to restore safe conditions for both animals and visitors. The loss of Adam, a longtime resident well known to many local families, added an emotional layer to the day's destruction, reminding residents of the storm's indiscriminate power.
By late afternoon on April 28th, the immediate fury of the storms had passed, but the aftermath was only beginning. Insurance adjusters faced an overwhelming wave of claims. Roofing companies braced for what one contractor described in similar past events as years-long backlogs created in mere minutes. Streets and parking lots glittered with broken glass, while downed power lines and tree limbs added to the hazards. Residents across the Ozarks shared stories of narrow escapes, drivers pulling over on highways to crouch on the floorboards of their cars, families huddled indoors as windows rattled and roofs thundered under the barrage, and business owners surveying the sudden destruction of months or years of investment. The National Weather Service confirmed reports of baseball to softball-sized hail across parts of the region, with particularly severe impacts from Aurora to Republic and throughout northwest Springfield. While no widespread tornado damage was reported in the immediate Springfield area from this event, the hail alone proved destructive enough to qualify as a significant weather disaster for the community. Thank you for watching World Weather Report, your source for real-time updates and in-depth analysis of nature's most powerful events, from hurricanes and typhoons to floods, earthquakes, and wildfire.
Just documenting the
Note,
damage
some
for
footage is
YouTube.
illustrative. Stay informed, stay prepared, and stay safe.
Here we go. See if we can get home.